I would say this is my first retreat. I never had that opportunity because the timing wasn't right and for some reason or the other. So happened this particular retreat, I'm able to make it, so I thought I'd make it a point to come to try and be more active because I come online but I don't take much action after that. So I'm making a commitment now to be physically here and to actually take more actions. The networking, as Bernard and all of you shared, I mean, I find it very enriching to meet other students, and they are more than willing to share their expertise, what they have learned, and how they navigate through this especially difficult times. For me, is the friendship that I've met here. I believe we've actually built. Haven't not met them, always on Zoom, and then meeting them face to face, getting their, to know them personally. That's actually something I really look forward.
These 3 days, I managed to connect with those like-minded people, and also those who are willing to learn and have an open mind, so that we can continue learning. And also all the coaches are so helpful, where they actually give us step-to-step what to look out for and how to identify a trait, and that really beneficial to my learning and as a beginner into this crypto journey.
This is beyond what I expected. If you tell me 1 to 10, I will put 11. Why is that? Because I am expecting a normal, ordinary academy retreat. But for this retreat, it's just the number 3 third day. But we expected and we already get more what we want. So what are we waiting for? Just come here, and what we will get, come and join in, then we will know.
I find this retreat exceed my expectation. And the thing that attracted me the most is like, this is a very well organized retreat, and I can see that every member, every team, every one of you all have put in a lot of effort in making this a success. So for that, I appreciate it. And as well as I think for the money that we pay for this retreat, I think it's more than, because the hotel itself is already 4 nights. The food is amazing, and the excursions amazing, and the people are just very helpful, the staff here. So if you have not really if you are thinking about joining next year or next retreat, I will recommend you definitely please come, and we'll be back.
I think the program has been very well planned. It's been very well packed, and every moment of our waking hour, we have a lot of activities to do. So I think it's very fulfilling few days that we have been here.
It's always a very good learning opportunity, and to connect with other like-minded people. I think the most important thing about the retreat, not only to learn from the coaches, but to also connect with the community members, and to build nice bonds that you can share throughout your crypto learning journey. Biggest takeaway was a lot of inspirational stories. I think that was the theme for this retreat, to create this relevance and to be able to connect us with the coaches, and also to understand that through their failures they grew, and they through their consistent effort they were able to achieve success. So that's a very good reminder for me, especially. So to hone my trading skills, and to just never give up and just keep pushing forward.
It was the first time it was offered for the VIPs, and I've been with this group since group 13, which is going way back, and I've not got myself to move. It was all virtual for me. And yes, we have these calls every Tuesday, and I've been there as often as I could. And I figured the final push I needed was to meet people who have been in the same boat, who are still there and are committed. And I thought, I've paid the money, and unless I bring the commitment myself, this is not going to work. So I have to make that step, and that's what I came to meet people who have been in the same boat as me, and get the motivation I need to start this seriously. And I'm glad I got what I came for. You can read about this everywhere, right? But to actually get there and start doing it, it's a mental thing, and having the community around you that motivates you, and you see everybody's here in the same boat, going the same line. That's the one thing I would say, come for the next retreat. There should be no questions. even though I'm from far away, I'm going to try and make it.
I was very surprised by the quality of the presentation and by the energy that you guys put in, all the facilities that you put together, all the good prices, and therefore, you know, it's definitely not something to miss. And it's so good that I've already signed up for the next one. Networking, I think it's my best technique. Because, you know, these days we attend a lot of meetings on Zoom. You can't network during Zoom meetings, not that much, unless you attend, you know, physical face-to-face meetings. And this retreat, because we're all together in one room, we break out together and we can talk to each other and say, okay, what do you do? What's your experience? You know, what do you like to trade and so forth. That's proper networking. Why I recommend it? Because first of all, you get very good value for your money, and you're gonna learn a lot. And if you put in practice what you're gonna learn, then you're gonna be a better trader.
The only way that I could meet any of you guys is by physically coming here, you know, and joining this retreat, because everything I would do is on a not only online, but it's also on a different time zone. So it's such a privilege. We had our Zoom call, we connected, you know, aside from the calls that the school offer, but it's a different level that, you know, like we are here, you know, like we are meeting everybody else, we are connecting even further. It has like a different level of connection, you know. So now we're not only, you know, like, okay, somebody, you know, over the internet, you know, like, or like from different country. It's actually, you know, like somebody you can relate to. We're sharing experiences together, so it's very valuable. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been quite removed, and that's a fact. And I didn't have the opportunity to meet anybody, any of the coaches or Resh. You know, you have a lot of opportunities for the platinum, and then you meet up for the breakfast club, and then you have a lot of meetings and over Zoom. But I think coming to the retreat and meeting everybody in person makes a big difference, because when you see somebody face to face, then you understand their mindset. I understand what it is that they are looking for. What is it that MWA really is about? Because when I joined online, and when you join online, you don't have that kind of interface between the coaches, Resh, and everybody else in the community. So this has been a big step up for myself, for one. The second thing is that when you entered MWA, it really talks about modern wealth, and not just one sector like crypto. So very specific to this event was Melvin, and coming in and speaking about the forex market, and also with regards to AI, because at one stage, yes, we are all learning how to trade manually, but we all know that coin to you is one step further. The other part that I liked here is when you come in person to the retreat, especially with Coin to W, there are several bots, there's several AIs doing a lot of things. And initially, when you do invest, you do not know the strategy. Okay, you don't know the strategy. Everybody talks about the same thing. But when you come here and you have, let's say, the CEO or somebody coming, and you ask questions, and then he can explain, okay, we're using martingale, we're using DCA. So then, you know, those in the community, you get a very, very good idea. Then they show you their live accounts. So that is something that, you know, you look forward to when coming to a retreat like this, which you can't. I don't believe you can have that online view. Thank you.
Thank you, Rash, and the MW team for putting this event together. It's something we have benefited so much, and I believe that I am growing more, learning more, and I hope to actually apply what I learned to my daily trading.
Thank you, MWA, and all the coaches and all the staff for putting up all these activities for us, so that it enhances our crypto journey together. Thank you.
A huge thank you to Resh and the MWA team. I think you're making all of us who are very passionate about a certain domain, you're making us absolute world-class athletes in it. And it's all thanks to your generosity, your commitment, and the superb team you have around you, I think you're going to make a next set of future traders for the world, and we are very grateful for that.
I'm genuinely very grateful for the opportunity to be here, for the opportunity to learn, for the opportunity to share with this awesome community. You guys, you really overgive. You are very generous. Nobody would believe, for the investment we had made, we could just get this amount of value on all levels. On all levels, really, it warms my heart. And I'm very happy and very grateful to be here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, because the teachings is also changing lives. Yeah.
Hey, Rash and the team, thank you so much for all the heart and all the things that you guys keep putting us for the retreat in Bangkok. We, as a community, we will work hard, and in Chinese, 发扬光大，哗啦!
Hello, good evening, everyone. If you can hear me and see me clearly on the screen, please type hi in the chat box. Good to see everyone after the great Chinese New Year holiday. Hope everyone enjoy yourself, spend some time with family, celebrate, and now ready to face the market again. Okay, yeah, okay, I see message coming. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so as usual, at the beginning, let's take a look at the market altogether before I open up for questions. Yeah, can you guys see my screen? Right, so earlier this week, for the past 2 weeks, I would say, right, we all know what happened in the world, right? While we enjoy, or some of us, right, enjoy Chinese New Year holiday. Obviously there are wars happening, right? Seems like suddenly the situation looks quite intense, but surprisingly, right, as the bombing happening, the crypto space kind of showing a relatively strong recovery since beginning of March, right? We can see BTC, right, earlier this week with 2 consecutive days of pumping, it actually break above the 70K resistance, right? And then now, obviously, we know that the price cannot go up forever. So right now, what we have now is a pullback of the price, right? So actually so now it's end of the week. And if you look closely, right, after it break above 70K, it went all the way to 73-ish before it started to retest. And now we actually are at the pretty much close to a critical level. As you can see, the price pullback of the BTC is already approaching a confluence area over here, right? So basically, if we look at this area, we have a major resistance psychologically, 70K, right? And then data mathematically, right, we can see it being a resistance for the past few rounds, right? It was rejected 3 times in the past, right? So now that when it retest the 70K range, it's actually very important, right? How this price range holds give us direction to what to do for the next few weeks, right? Because if for the next maybe in 2 or 3 or even 4 candles, that means in next 2 to 3 days, But now it's already Friday, so over the weekend we might expect lesser price movement, right? But subsequently, when the price come down to below 70K range, if it touches, be it the support, be it the trend line, be it the EMAs, if it rebounces, right, and manage to close, right, in the next 1 or 2 days to close above 70K, then we will see a more bullish upcoming movement, right? So we expect it then turn more bullish and then give us more like upside, especially if we do longing. But of course, if it does not hold and then actually break below 70K again, and then then the chances of it going lower, right, retest the lower range will be much higher, right? I'm pretty sure if you have followed some market analysis for the past, before this rebounds, right, which like honestly a lot of people don't really know much why, other than the the peace offering talk, because everybody was saying that okay, it will be stopped at the 70K range and go down further, right, and it's gonna retest the mid or low 60K range, and if we fail to do so, then we might be expecting to see Bitcoin to go even lower than that, right? So right now what we are seeing is approaching the very newly formed support, which is previously the resistance, right? So as I said, right, right now we still have a little bit of room to run, because you can see this current we're looking at 4-hour time frame now. So this 4-hour candlestick is still not closed yet, right? So there's still some room for it to go down, right? So that's why earlier today we actually shared a few short setup in the group chat, right? There's still some room for it to run, but once it approach the 69 range, or let's say if this candle does not close below the 70K range, right, then for me personally, I will then hold my horses and not do any short until either of the two scenario I draw earlier happens. Then I will plan my action from there. Okay, right. So if it goes below 70K and continue to break down to give me a lower high or lower low, then I will be looking for more opportunity to short, because chances of Bitcoin going down further to test next support is higher. But if it actually rebounds here, then by then we will expect seeing much more candles, right, pull back up together, have a better rally, and give us a better uptrend to do some long action, right? So right now, if you are in position, right, be it long or short, always make sure you take profit on time, all right? Don't hold the trade, right, especially over the weekend, because anything during the weekend when the trading volume is lower, when the institutions are not trading, anything could happen, okay, especially if you are trading a smaller market cap coin. And then if you look at, and this actually also coincides with the USDT, as we can see, as BTC reaching the support, USDT also reaching a resistance level, right? Previously it has that's previously was a support, right? It has been breakthrough one time, right? Now if it retests, same thing, it could get rejected and continue to go down, which means by then you'll probably see Bitcoin break above 70K. But if it continue to go up from there, then that's where we see more, we will turn into more short buyers in the market. Okay, and then this same applies to like Ethereum as well as other coins as well. You can see most of them are very near to a recent support already. Okay, so for me personally, earlier today I shared this trade, which is a short on virtual, right? Because recently it just break below the 200 MA, which is a strong support, and then it actually retests and then come back down. Right now it's still running. So just now the drop, it didn't hit my TP1, so it's still running. But as I said, because it's already approaching a support or resistance level, so later on if it hit any of my TP, I will make sure quickly, take some profit and protect my capital. All right. Okay. Able to draw downward trend line for USDT. Yeah, same as BTC. So you can see recently the highs are getting lower and lower already. Right. If it get rejected here and go down, then good thing is then we'll see most of the coin go up. Right. But sometimes the price doesn't, precisely hit the price or resistance or trend line stop. So sometimes you do see the price might overshot the support resistance a little bit. It might close out of it or doesn't, right? But it will kind of react later, right? Leave a week, right? So since it's already very, very near to this range, I would say just don't rush, right? Hold your horses if you haven't got into any trade. Okay. All right, so that's all for my market analysis for the next few days. Right, so on Monday, over the weekend, even if the candle does close above or below, I would say it's not very accurate or reliable, right? So I will definitely, now we are looking at 4-hour time frame. So even if next few candles, right, it does close below or get rebounds, I will personally prefer to wait until Monday, right, then to look at the chart again, right? So this area will be the area I avoid open new trades. Okay, but that being said, right, as I said, for BTC or any other coins, so basically we're already up very near to the support, right? So if let's say we see a potential trade setup, we can still plan, right? We just have plan for both directions. Because if we see a coin that price that is very near the support, right, we can always plan for both scenarios. One is it rebounds at the support, then we can set a long setup. But if let's say it's there, we also think there's a chance for it to break down, right? Then we can also get ready for a breakout shot. Okay, so if let's say you have any coins you're actually eyeing, do share in the chat so later we can analyze together. Right, let's see questions. If I'm an hourly trader, how do I analyze USDT to get your bias? Assuming at 9, if all the stars align, can I still go short? Okay, BTC, be it BTC or USDT, I look at 4 hour to give me basically to look at the general direction. So as I shared last week, right, if let's say I look at let's say at 8 a.m., right, when I look at the chart, right, that's, for example, this is the Thursday's, let me zoom in. So for example, this is the Thursday's 4 a.m. candle, right? So when I come to this chart at 9 a.m., like your example, right, because when I look at the chart at 9 a.m., this candle that opened at 8 o'clock is not completed yet. That means that the candle is still running, right? So I will only refer to the previous candle to give me basically a bias or to give an idea of what direction to determine, right? So for example, this 9 o'clock I come in, I will ignore this particular candle, right, for whichever color or direction is running to, right? I will just judge based on the candle that closed at 8 a.m., which is a 4 a.m. candle. And then for example, using USDT as example, I have a support line here, right? The night before I go to sleep, it was coming down. right? So let's say slept at 12, right? But when I wake up, I realize when the price hit this support, it actually rebounds and gave me a bullish engulfing candle, right? So irregardless at 9 o'clock how this candle looks like, to me this is a nice rebound, and then potentially I will see more upward movement on USDT. And also you are unclear on how to analyze USDT. Basically USDT, in generally speaking, its movement should be going against all other crypto coins, because this USDT basically is a fiat money, right? That means if USDT go down, we expect crypto to go up. So based on this judgment, if I look at this 8 o'clock candle, it give me a direction, it give me an idea that, okay, USDT potentially is gonna go up from here. Then naturally, although I come at 9 o'clock, I still hold the idea that, okay, if USDT were to go up, I expect other coin to go down, right? So naturally, that will give me a short bias. Same if I come in at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., because as long as this candle doesn't close, I will not look at it. If let's say I come at 12 p.m., this candle close, but it aligns with the previous candle, it's still a green candle. So that gave me an idea of, okay, seems like the upward movement of USDT is in the continuation, right? Then I will continue looking for short setup. Did I make myself clear? Coach, can I still enter virtual now? I wouldn't recommend. How many percent? Like, because my entry is like here after this. So from here to current price, 0.6%. Okay, not that far. All right. So if for you, if 0.6% for you is a range that you can accept, then yeah. But if you feel, I mean, but look at the chart, it actually has run a bit. It just happened to, like this happened to have a pullback. Just now the candle actually pulled back all the way, right? So good thing is now it's about less than 1% difference. So if you know that when you lower, that means when you chase the entry price, right? Then the only thing affect is your risk to reward ratio, right? If let's say you feel that, okay, even if I enter lower, right, with the same stop loss and a potential take profit, it still makes sense. The risk to reward ratio still makes sense to me. Then okay, that's how I judge whether I want to chase a trade. All right, so you do the maths, whether you are willing to chase this trade or not. If hourly, I need to see the place up. Yes, of course. All right, so if let's say like for example, if I see at the very beginning of the rejection, right, then obviously I'm much more confident in entering the trade, right? But let's say, for example, you can see previously I actually have this support line. It was broken. But let's say when I look at the chart a few hours later, right, as the price approaching the support line, even though it's still, like for example, if I see this green candle, right, it's still showing a upward movement. But because it's already very near to this resistance, previous support, right, now it could potentially turn into a resistance, right? So if I look at this candle, look at the chart during this candle, then I might be more cautious. I might not I might not rush into continue shorting anymore, right? Rather, I will wait for a candle to show me that it actually can break above this resistance. Then I will continue to look for short, like that. Okay, so the candlestick itself plays a part, right? Then the major support and resistance you spot on the chart, you draw, also plays a part, right? So this is why I say it, although it seems like it's still green, right? But since this green candle is approaching this trend line slash the resistance, right? So unless this trend line, this candle later close, not only close green, but also close above the support, the resistance, like that. If the next candle close like this, then my judgment will be like, okay, then chances of it going to up higher is higher, because now it broke this resistance. So now we are looking at this price range for it to move, right? So then I will judge differently. But if this candle close like this only, then to play it safe, I would rather wait for a few candles to show me whether is it gonna go like this, or is it gonna go like this. Okay, so remember just now I said there might be two scenarios, go up or go down, right? So I judge based on the price, basically how the candle forms, how the price react to each direction. Scenario number one, I continue to look for short. Scenario number two, then I go see which coin got better recovery and go to look for a long setup already. Okay. Can I explain the virtual entry again? Virtual, if we zoom in, you can see okay, yeah, not so zoomed. Okay, so basically virtual, you can see the idea is, right, previously it was, you can already, yeah. Okay, previously you can see it actually has on a bigger range, it actually already have a breakdown of a double top, right? And then later on, what I see here is, do you see a small double top here? Yeah, and then if I zoom into this small double top, you can see the green line, my entry line is pretty much the neck line, not so even because this is a bit of a slanted double top, right? Not so even, the two sides, right? But then it actually shows a breakdown of this double top somewhere around here, this candle. All right. Technically, if I'm a breakout trader, right? If I see a breakout of neckline of the double top, and if the trading volume is high and RSI and MACD all at the bottom, I can enter already. But as I shared a few times, personally, I'm more of a breakout and retest trader. That means I prefer if the price did break out from the support or resistance, but instead of entering immediately, I would wait for a retest. That means it come down and then went back up, retest the support and get rejected again, like this. Right, so you can see it went up, right? And then next candle got rejected by the 200 MA, which is very close to the support line also, the net line of the double top and all, it's all about here, right? So that's where I decided to enter, right? But of course, one thing is, when I look at the chart at time, right, the price was higher. That's why I can manage to give a slightly higher entry. Otherwise, I would have entered here as well. This close out this candle. Right, but then if I enter there, the risk to reward ratio will be differently. Okay, hope that's clear with virtual. All right, next we have WLD. Sure. Let's take a look at WLD. Yeah, it's you assume you're saying potential breakout of 200 MA, which is very close already. Yeah, so if later it break below this 200 MA, we don't know the candle close where, but roughly we can take a look at, let's say it closed somewhere around here, then we can draw a trend line as well. Yeah, so if based on trend line, you can see it actually already broke below, right? It just that there's a 200 MA, so there's still a chance that it gets supported here, right? So good if you want, it will be good if wait for the candle to break below 200 MA, right? Then based on this assumption that it will close below as a bearish engulfing, so we'll expect the candle to be at least longer than the red one, right? Then our entry was somewhere around here. Then stop loss depends on where you prefer to put. Either you're below or above the previous high or above the major support, which is 200 MA. Then you will have a relatively tighter stop loss, right? But if for me personally, I always put above previous high, which is about here, right? Then potentially the next major support we see is about here, about 0.36-ish, 363-ish, right? Then of course along the way, as you can see from the left, right, every support here you can spot on the chart can potentially be your take profit along the way, right? So if we judge based on this, the risk to reward ratio is not bad, 1 to 1.8, right? But because, as I mentioned, it's very near to other major indicating assets support or resistance already, right? So if you mark this coin, right, if the breakout happens like within, that means within these few hours, right, then personally, since there's not much runway for it to run, right, I would prefer to wait for a retest. But if I want to go in now, right, for maximum profit, for better entry, then sure. But I will definitely monitor it very closely, or maybe even set a tighter stop loss, right? Just to make sure if later on, while I'm sleeping, it suddenly rebounds, right? I don't like my stop loss won't cause too much of a loss. I can refer, I can choose to refer or not to, but like USD is like literally here, right? As I said, over the weekend, the candle, even though it might go out a bit or close below a bit, it's not like in terms of like the indicating purpose, right? It's not as reliable as the weekday ones, right? Because sometimes you see these kind of small little candles, base like this, yeah, it juggles around the support resistance, right? It actually, like, it could be one candle green, one candle red, one candle green, one candle green, right? Just around that range. So it might not be so reliable to determine the direction, I prefer to have a more, on the weekday, generally the trading volume is higher, the candle, usually the movement is clearer and stronger. Yeah, but I mean, but the position of it is good, right? It's a very nice price point if we can capture the breakdown. It's just that the timing and where it sits in the market now, it's a bit of its a disadvantage. But I will add that to my watch list, right? See over the weekend if the best case is actually it either breakdown or rebounds, right? But it hovers around this trend line, right, like this. And then on Monday it give us, or Sunday night give us a clear entry, then that would be the best. Then we can both enjoy the relatively faster price movement. At the same time, we have a good entry. Right. But if this trade setup works out, the risk to reward ratio is good. I like. Okay, thanks for sharing. I have added to my watch list. Right, let's see. Any other coin? So I don't really on weekends. Yeah, most of the time I prefer to trade on the weekdays, and usually on the weekdays, like by the time, like if you can spot a good trade setup and then it actually work out, right? Sometimes you don't need to trade that often. So for me, if I already spot a nice trade, or like I already traded a few trades over the weekdays, then weekend I'll just take a break, not to rest. Right? This is another trade we shared in the group earlier, right? Similar, also a big double top followed by a small double top breakdown, right? And then this one move faster than virtual. It has already hit a few TP points already for my TP. Yeah, I entered this trade, and I think one of the coaches also shared around the same time, around this level, right? So a breakout, and personally my TP is here and here. First TP already hit, right? This is in good running. Okay, any other coin? Link. Yeah, actually those coins that you find the name pretty familiar ones, right? Their movement, that means they've been in the market for quite a while, right? Their movement or their chart, right, generally looks very similar because they more or less follow the major market movement. Okay. Link, yeah, similar, but this one slightly further away from 200 MA. If we look at this chart, okay, this one's similar, more similar to the GOP, right? If let's say you were to enter either just now earlier on, as you can see, when EMA crossing, you can see a trend reversal here. That means previously uptrend, as it pull back, it's actually showing a sign that it's turning to a downtrend, right? So if we enter here to here, that's one short trend reversal short setup, right, till here. But now it's already very near to the support. Then same thing, we wait for the breakdown, right? But for Link, it seems like it's a bit further from 200 MA, which could be good because, as I said, we wait until Monday, right? If it slowly get rejected, then till Monday, there's more room for us to, for it to run. Then chances of it being, if let's say it does break down, right, chances of us catching the breakdown on Monday is higher, where WLD is very close already. So look at BTC right now, you can see it's actually really trying hard not to not to go below 70K, right? Yeah. So because this candle, like as we know that smaller time frame, the candle, like you see more noise, right? On 4 hours, you can tell it's actually trying hard not to close below 70, right? So this is why I say sometimes on smaller time frame, you see a candle overshot a little bit. Doesn't mean it will really break down, right? Because it could recover right away with the next candle. Right. This is why when we judge the direction, we try to look at bigger time frame. GUP is you know how to check. Okay, for GUP is one of the biggest decentralized exchange, right? But if you want to know what's the market cap, very simple. You just go to the coin market cap and then check if its market cap is big or not. CGUP it's number 71, so top 100. See? Can I explain double top or double bottom a bit more? Why is it more impactful when that's set up? Basically, if in a recent time frame you see double top or double bottom, right? Remember when we look at a chart, right? We look at highs and lows, right? So normally we look at the price movement, the highs either get, if it's higher highs, higher lows, we know the chart is going up, right? If it's same thing, if it's lower highs, lower lows, then you know most likely the price is going down, right? But then for chart patterns like double top or double bottom, right? It's very simply, right? On a very immediate or recent time frame, it straight away give you a very similar, not necessary to be exactly the same, but usually you will see double bottom, you will see the lows are about the same value. Same for double top, you will see the highs about the same value, right? Because you know when we draw a support resistance, usually we identify it with like 3 points, right? So when you see a double top or triple top, like sometimes double top, right? Then sometimes we also see triple top or triple bottom, right? So immediately it gives you idea, okay, this is a strong support, right? So price probably are not gonna go lower because this one is forming a strong support here. Same for triple or double bottom, right? You can see, oh, this one is forming a relatively strong resistance, right? So price could probably cannot go any higher because this is a very strong resistance. But at the same time, you know that, okay, since this is a resistance, since this is going to be a strong resistance or support, then the moment the price break above, right, then usually we expect the price to really move, right? That's why we want to see a breakout trade happens from a double bottom, double top, or triple bottom, triple top. There's other chart patterns as well, right? If like triangle, like wedges, like flags and all, right? So if you don't remember those patterns, right, do take a look at, we do have a PDF for that on Step Up, right? Go download and have a look of it. Before every entry, do I always see 4 hours for confirmation? No, as I mentioned before, for me, this is like a checking on general market movement is like a beginning of the day before I start trading things, right? It generally don't change so often unless it's approaching a support resistance. If I'm at the beginning of a U-turn and then for the next few hours, I don't really need to keep coming back to USDT to give myself a confirmation. I will just keep my, like for example, if I'm here from 8 a.m. all the way to the next few hours or even days, as long as it doesn't reach here, I will keep my short bias in mind, right? So when I look for trade, naturally I look for short. I don't really need to keep on coming back, right? But let's say after 1 or 2 days, right? Of course, it's good to come back to take a look. Is it still, there's still room for it to run, or am I approaching the resistance already? I hope MW can do a session purely on trading with chart patterns, like how, I mean, there's a lot of deciding factors when you spot a trade, right? If you want to practice on how to trade with chart patterns, very simply, you just flag out a chart and then you identify, you can do back testing, you don't have to do live. Honestly, if we do a live session to trade with chart patterns, how many trades can you actually spot within a session? I don't think it will be a lot, right? Just look at the past chart and then you see what patterns can you spot there, right? Because there's a lot of other factors we look at also, right? Support and resistance. It's just that when it's at support, or for example, you see a support here, right? And then so happen you realize the price actually respect the support with a double bottom. Then they give you more confirmation to long when they break up. That's all, right? But without the chart pattern, can you also long just based on support and resistance? Can also, right? Either that if John, either that if you are coming, you can always suggest to have a session to go through chart patterns or candlestick patterns, right? Maybe we can arrange a session for either live in person or other sessions, right? If you're coming to retreat, you can actually go suggest that a session if we do, we can focus on chart pattern trading during maybe live trading, right? And voice up. If you need more practice on spotting patterns, yeah, exactly, right? So when you do live, honestly, not the best way. If you just need to practice on spotting patterns, the best way is just to go through the past of the chart and then see how many patterns you can spot and see how many times based on the chart patterns they actually play out. Just now there's a pullback. Did they hit my stop loss? Let me see. Okay, so just now the pullback, Jupiter hit my stop loss already because I moved my stop loss into profit here before the session starts. I know during the session I won't be able to do much. So all good. Got a decent profit. 10%. Okay. All right. Any more questions? Oh, wow. Wait for it. For trading a trend, do I take MACD into account? I will see if I try align MACD and RSI price usually run away and miss a trade. I would take MACD into consideration. Yes, I will. For GOP, I enter limit order. I only use limit order. I don't use market order. 10% profit. Because it moved about 2%. Here, my stop loss is about 181. Here, so 5x leverage is about 10. 13. Yeah, 13. But but my stop loss order is a market order, right? So it slipped a bit, so roughly about 10%. I use 5x leverage. If you use 10x leverage, it will be more. How long my trade usually lasts? Usually half a day to 1 day. If it's more than 3 days, I will manually close it. Doesn't matter if it's in profit or losses. I don't hold a trade more than 3 days. Usually, unless I am busy. My breakout line, my breakout line is the purple color one. Do you see the neckline of the double top? It break out, retest, and then enter. So it break out from here. I waited for it to retest, then I enter after that. Wow, my GOP slippage is 4%. Wow, so painful when your TP order is filled at that price. But oh well, I'll stop loss order either way. But a profit is still a profit, so a good. Purple line is reserved for T time frame, 1 hour time frame. Oh. I mean, previously it's a support, then once it got broken, then the retests have proven that it has turned into a resistance. My entry is about, can't remember this one or this one. But anyway, when they got rejected from the purple line, right? I think after this, I got in after this mini double top also. So it feels like a stronger, more effective breakout. Here, this one. 1 o'clock. . it won't always retest, right? So if it don't retest, I just let this trade go. Of course, what can I do? I can't call Jupiter coin holders to push back the price so I can enter again. Right. There's nothing I can do. Of course, I will let it go. Next, what will be us be learning during next Saturday live in-person session? Oh, good question. Yeah, so if you all are not aware, next Saturday, thanks for reminding me, Ken. So next Saturday, we are holding a live in-person session. And then this time around, we actually rent a proper hotel hall to do the session. So there will be a lot of stuff we are going to share. It's like a whole day event. There will be, I actually can't remember the agenda, but I know there will be a lot of sharing lineup, right? If you're interested and you're free, please do join. Right? Jessie, do you have the sign up link? If you haven't registered but you're interested, right? I believe there's a sign up link in Step Up, right? So yeah, I'm pretty sure there'll be the content that is helpful for your trading, right? Right, live in person. Usually we also do we allocate time for doing live trading also. So yeah, we can maybe together spot some trade for the weekend. Okay. Will there be live Zoom for this session? You mean the live in person? Oh, and another very good question. Let me check with our ops staff. Okay, I'll check with our staff. Okay, so Jessie just send the link to sign up for the event. And Jessie, will there be recording for the, will there be Zoom for the event itself? Okay, we think so, yeah. Probably there will be live, Zoom live streaming, right? So yeah, and also speaking of events, right? So we know that for Saturday, although we try to squeeze in as much content as possible, but because after all it's just one day, right? So if you want to learn more, or you want to have more like live trading session, more interactive session in person, right? Do join us for the retreat upcoming, because now it's already March, right? Upcoming, especially for those who have never been to our retreat before, right? End of April, beginning of May, that holiday, we will be holding our upcoming Hanoi retreat, right? Happening at Hanoi, right? In a nice hotel where you can actually spend literally 24 hours if you prefer not to sleep, right? Trading, learning, you know, with your trading buddies, with coaches, right? So if you are free, you want to enjoy a meaningful and impactful and full of content to learn kind of holiday at Hanoi in Vietnam with us, right? Do sign up for the retreat, right? You can just contact Jen for the details, right? Later we can get the Jessie, can you post Jen's contact details in the chat as well? How do we get this retreat info? Yeah, we will get our member to post the person in charge phone number. You can WhatsApp her directly, right? Because if you're new, then previously we did have like briefing sessions. If you miss that, right, do So Jessie just send the message in the chat, right? Just copy the number. After this session, you can drop Jen a text saying you are interested. Then she will send you all the details. Yeah. All the details will be included. Right. Just text Jen at 87784730. Can I explain a bit of copy trading? We don't do any copy trading at the moment. In future, if we do, we will definitely share. If you're asking me what is copy trading, it simply means like certain platform offer copy trading service. Basically, you have your own account, you put your capital inside, but you initiate the copy trading mechanism where whichever trader you follow, right, your exchange or trading platform will automatically use your capital to place trade based on the trader you follow. Right, that's the idea of copy trading. But as of now, we do not have any copy trading services. Yeah, Jasmine, remember to text Jen, yeah? Okay. All right. Okay. That was a bit of sidetrack, guys. I just got reminded because our live in person is happening on next Saturday. So if you haven't signed up, do sign up in case the seat run out. Okay. And back to the trading part. Anyone still got any coins you want to go through or any questions? You're not sure? Testing. Okay, good. Action taker. Love it. Okay. All right. Any questions regarding any chat? While waiting for the question to come in, let me see if I can find any potential tweets. Okay, Panda just breaking down. Still got 3 more minutes. Right, so if you close below this support line, that's next. This is the entire range of potential profit to short, right? I think that's why it's in my watch list. I was waiting for it. I missed this one when it break down 200 MA. So had to wait for it to break next support already. Aptos, you can see a strong resistance here. Support wise, okay, this chart is a bit ugly because you can see a support here, but 200 MA is support here and 200 MA is here. So that means the support range will be the entire range over here. Then it's personally, I find this a bit hard to gauge where do I consider it as a proper breakdown. All right, so this one I'll skip. Not gonna watch it. FET. FET was a chart. I was monitoring earlier, but I entered virtual, so I didn't enter this one. But similar idea, right? It's like this one. You can see just now someone asked about short with the trend, right? So long with the trend, but short with the trend, basically same idea, right? It's on a downtrend, and then when you pull back, you look for opportunity to enter. So you can see about here, this is where it pull back and reject, right? So if I look at MACD, when this trade set up, the RSI is correct, it's below 80, but MACD also below 0, right? So if we enter based on this candle, right, that's what we call a short with the trend. Right, you see? Yeah. Okay, it's breaking down, so I assume BTC is still okay. Yeah, you see, it's approaching, right? So although now looks very like tempting, everything is dropping, right? But do know that as it going closer to the support, be more cautious, right? Now is definitely not the time to try to catch I'll try to chase the trade. Oh, WLD at the okay. Yeah, so although it's a nice breakdown, right? But because of this, as I mentioned, I want to be more cautious. So I will keep it for potential retest. Hopefully it happens. Okay, the FET. Okay, I'll remove FET since I already missed this trade. Okay, so I'm just watching Panda for breakdown. WLD, actually Panda and WLD both broke down already. It's just that I prefer to wait for a retest. Okay, and my GUP already closed during the pullback because I moved my stop loss. Too bad. And virtual hit my TP1. Okay, so if I'm not doing this session, if I'm trading, I will first thing I will do is to go into my account, move my stop loss. Okay, just to make sure later the profit don't turn into a losses. And then for monitoring, I don't need to look at the chart all the time, as I mentioned many times, right? I just always set a alert at TP1 and stop loss. If it hit TP1, I go in to move my stop loss to entry, then technically this trade is already risk-free, right? Then I will remove my alert on stop loss because it doesn't matter to me anymore, right? Then I will put my put my alert on TP2, right? So later if it hit TP2, then I will come here again, move my stop loss to TP1. Like that, gradually, I can always maximize my, minimize my risk, maximize my profit. Maximize profit maybe not, because when you pull back, you might get hit. But at least you know that your capital is safe all the time. When they break down, yeah, you need to look at volume, which is why personally I don't like to trade at breakdown, because breakup basically, right? Because sometimes it's very hard to gauge, right, whether the volume will it remain high or not. Sometimes you see one high volume with breakout, but very next candle the volume died down and then it loses the momentum. So I prefer to wait for a retest. When it retests without volume, although the movement can be slower, but to me it's a safer, more determined trade. Andrews, the stop loss part I just explained, right? So I move stop loss based on my TP, not based on percentage. Yeah, so I don't measure how many percent is this. As long as it hit my TP1, it could be 1%, could be 2%, could be 3%. I will move my stop loss. Okay. And make sure when you move your stop loss to entry, don't put right at the entry, right? Do put it slightly into profit, so that even if it hit, right, your profit can still cover your fees and all. Otherwise, it might end up to be a little bit worse than break even. You could still lose a bit because of the platform charging you the exchange fee, transaction fee, and all. Okay, bonk. I see. It's holding. It's approaching, so it's actually quite okay. Since it's already hitting the support here, right? So for me personally, I rather just move my stop loss. I just take the profit here already, right? But now since I'm doing the session, I will just let it run. Okay, bonk. Bonk. Bonk already break down, right? So, but like as I say, USDT is already at support, right? what if it stop going down further? And you know, when USDT recovers, everything will go up together with it, right? So why take the risk? But it's a good breakdown, right? This support has been there. It's quite a significant support. So technically, if it go down, got room to run, right? But if to play safe, we do if there will be a retest, right? Then it will be a safer choice. Not saying that it cannot break now and continue to go down, because weekend could be bearish, right? Just a bit, it will take more risk. How about Jasmine? Oh, Jasmine also at the very, very verge of breaking down already. Here. There's the support somewhat aligned with 200 MA. Not bad. Look closely, haven't yet. So this candle close below, it will be a breakdown. Okay, if this candle close below, okay, now it's 10. Okay, 10 a bit. If now it's like 11 plus, right? Then this candle close at 12, right? Then 4-hour BTC also close below, right? Then I might take the risk to short, because if BTC break down with a bigger time frame candle plus is a major support, then I might be willing to take the risk. But 10 o'clock, then still got 2 hours. So to me, it's like inconclusive to do it. But the position where Jasmine sits is really good. Do I limit myself to 2 open trades at any time? Per account, I only limit myself to 1 open trade. Right. Even I seldom do, even like if let's say the account is already, this trade is already in profit. Technically, if I move my stop loss into profit, and then technically I can use this account to do another trade. But personally, I don't do that. At any point in time, this one account, I only hold 1 open trade. But having said that, I have multiple accounts, right? So I can place more than 1 trade in different accounts. But at the same time, I will only trade maximum 3 accounts. But most of the time, on daily basis, I only trade on 2 accounts. That means maximum 2 trades, but it's 1 open trade in 1 account. Right? Minimal risk. I like to play safe. I don't like to, have too many windows, too many accounts open, and too many trades open. Sometimes you never know, right? Sometimes you mix up different coins. When you move your stop loss, you key around amount. Yeah, anything could happen. I don't like to make things complicated. So 1 trade, 1 account, 1 trade, 2 accounts open, right? Then hardly anything could go wrong. For trade with trend, does the price need to bounce the trend line, or as long as it enter the retracement zone with bullish candle? You mean exit the retracement zone with bullish candle? I mean, if it trade the trend, it should bounce the trend line. Like if it doesn't bounce, then it break across the trend line, then most likely this trade with the trend won't be valid anymore. It highly likely it will turn into a, like for example, right? Use GOP as example. If I have this trend line, right? If it touches trend line, bounce off with a bullish candlestick, that means the opposite direction. That means it moves away from the trend line. And then I consider this as a trade with the trend. If it go into retracement zone, touch the trend line, does not bounce off, that means it will cut through, right? If it cut through, then this obviously is not gonna be a trade with the trend already, right? It will be a breakout already. When I say TP1 and TP2, you mean I put 50% in TP1 on the platform? A position wise, up to you. Like if I have two TP, then maybe 50-50. If I have 3 TP, then maybe 30-40, right? So it's also not, I don't use percentage to calculate my TP. I base on resisted. Then if you talk about how many percent of my position do I exit, then depends on how many TP price I have. The two open trades usually same direction. Seldom have one long and one short. Yeah, usually one direction. I'm not a hedging person, right? So for me, if I based on my market analysis for the day, I'm looking for short, I will look for short. I won't be like, I'm looking for short, but just to play safe, I open a long in case it bounces. I don't do that. If I scared at the moment that I think market is indecisive, it could go up, could go down, right? Then I rather don't trade, right? Rather than open one long, one short, what for, right? Because even if one trade have moved to the right direction, I still got one account end up losing money, isn't it? I don't like to take unnecessary risk, right? Like I said, I keep my trade like simplest as possible. I don't like to make things complicated. Yeah, CoinW, every trading platform you can put multiple TP. You can decide how many percent of your position you exit at each TP point, right? That can be done. Once I put TP and stop loss, I do not look at it often. Yeah, as I said, I just set alert at TP1 stop loss, and then once I hit TP1, I move my alert to TP2, and then move my basically right your entry price, your stop loss, and your TP, right? So as long as you always have your alert on both ends, so you know that whichever direction it go, you are aware of it, then good enough. Right, so just now I explained, right, during virtual, right? So entry, right, before a right, so before like first when I enter, I have my entry. I remove this. I have my entry, my stop loss, and TPs, right? But first, I just need to put alert on TP1 and alert on SL. So when it hit either one, if it hits stop loss, no action needed. I just know that, okay, the trade is closed, right? And I lose money, right? But if it hit TP1, then I go in, move my stop loss, and then I remove my alert from stop loss to entry because I have already moved my stop loss to entry, right? Then I can also move my alert from TP1 to TP2 because then if it hit TP2, I need to come in again and move my stop loss again, right? So, but in between, whatever happens, however the price run, doesn't matter to me. Okay, if you look at 12 p.m. because you sleep early, well, you sleep at 12 p.m. That's early, and find it very disturbing. You mean the alert disturbing? I mean, if you don't want the alert to disturb you in your sleep, then if you know that I set alert because it's for me to monitor during the day, right? If I were to go to sleep, right, the alert won't bother me, right? Even if it rains. I don't know about you guys, but I sleep very tight, right? The alert rings, I also won't hear. But if you want to take a nap but you're scared you miss it, then a bit hard lah. So when I decide to go to sleep, I just mentally be prepared that if anything happened to the trade, I won't be doing anything. Thanks for virtual. Oh, you managed to go in. Good job, good job. All right. Yeah, how many percent is it? 3.5. So on 5x, we have about 12%. Okay, not bad. Let's see if we can go down further tonight. Okay. Yeah. Also, if you guys are very light sleeper, then you do, like if you have trading view on your phone, when the alert rings, you might wake up because of that, right? Then you can actually just on your do not disturb mode on trading view. Then that means in a way you mute the app, right? Keep that on. You set a shortcut so anything happen, you can just, yeah. So panda panda moving down. Yeah, what can you do? Panda moving down. So just now the 10 o'clock, the 9 p.m. candle closed below, so it broke down, right? So technically, if you catch the breakdown, you short, but the volume wasn't really high, right? So it's going down because BTC is going down, right? So what can you do? Also didn't run much. That's why I say I will wait for retest if there is one. If there isn't, then too bad lor. If this one break down, I think WRD also broke down, right? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So these two coins are, I'm keeping them for future next few days already. Nothing you can do now. Okay. Any more coins? Any more questions? Did I miss anything? Let me go through. That's all. How do I move my stop loss to above entry in a way that you are still in profit after minus the funding fee? If you know the platform charging how many percent exchange fee, then like for example, most platform charge about 0.2 to 0.6%, right? So make sure when you move your stop loss above entry, you leave allowance for that. So keep at least 1% into profit or 1%, right? Minimally. Usually that should be able to cover most of the cost already. As long as you don't, and also if you always trade, right? Usually when you look at position history, that means when the trade closed, there will be a profit and there will be another column showing you the processing fee. Like different platform call it differently. Some call it exchange fee, some call it processing fee. So if let's say your account size, you always trade about the same margin size, like for example $1,000, right? You roughly know what's the transaction fee per trade for $1,000, right? So let's say if it's $5, right? Then when you move your stop loss, make sure your profit you leave for your trade, right, is more than $5. For BF fees, what do you mean? ICP? ICP? ICP. Wow, this coin is so annoying. Okay, for some of you are not in the group chat, ICP, I post it as a long. When was it? Here, right? Yeah, midweek, right? Because there was a support here. I see it broke above and then retested on around this level. So I send it out as a long trade, right? And then it took forever to hit TP1 finally just now, right? That was how many days? Wednesday, 3 days almost. But now, but in a way it shows that this resistance is very strong, right? Now, ICP, please, what do you want to see from ICP? Maya, like, it got rejected, but now it's like approaching the support already. So see it rebounds or break out lor. What do you want to do? If it rebounds, then the EMA will probably untangle and go back to uptrend. If we break down, then below the 200 MA, this is the potential profit to short. Okay. Let's see where it goes. To Jasmine. Take Jasmine example. If it breaks and support, but it's only about 2% to the next support. Okay, if it break below, your next support is only less than 2%, like that, and it is still worth taking the trade. That's why I say before you place a trade, you need to do the projection, see whether the risk to reward ratio makes sense to you or not, right? So if I short this, my stop loss at least here, right, above this highs, that's about 3.8%. So if you think that if it hits this support, then that's it, it cannot go down already, then obviously this risk to reward ratio 0.54 to me is not good. Then obviously I won't take the trade. But if you think, okay, maybe there's still potential that it doesn't stop there, it continue to go down, right? If you think that it can go down further, right, then if it, with the expectation that it might go down further and give me a better risk to reward ratio, then I might still take the trade. So it depends on what's the risk to reward ratio you can project, and you gauge based on that, right? Of course, that's why Bernard keeps saying, right? Because Bernard keeps saying risk to reward ratio is for you to determine whether this trade, if it goes well, is it worth taking. But always when we in a trade, we need to prepare for the worst. Is what if it stop here, right? But to me, if it hit this TP 2% on a 5x leverage, still got 10% profit, good enough, then I will take. If let's say I take the trade and then the next week support very near, like that only 0.3% or 0.5%, I would say nah, not worth taking the risk, then I won't take. Right. So every trade you need to, that's why it's important before you place the trade, draw, calculate, and judge. Okay, plan the trade is the most important part. The secondary important part is make sure you trade according to your plan. Right. For example, you enter the time, you realize this candle, instead of closing below to the support very near, it actually closed very low, almost hitting the next support already. Then you need to adjust and then recalculate, see whether is it still makes sense to go into the trade or not. All this need to be calculated beforehand, because when the price actually, when candle later is really close below, the window for you to enter the trade might not be very long, right? Only try to get it done within a few minutes. If not, you might miss the entry point. Okay, so show here. So hope that answers the question. Right. You judge, you be the judge, like whether do you see the potential of them become your TP 1, 2, 3, or you think it will stop here. ICP can short and wait for it to break line. Right now it's very near to a support. Are you short now? For this chart, you can see, right, even if it break below the trend line, it can still, there's still another support line. So you might sell wait for it to break below here. And if by the time BTC close above, honestly speaking, I think the chance of longing is higher than shorting. That's why you see I have both projections here to remind myself I'm seeing the trade potentially go both ways. I will come back and decide later when it actually play out. Fees on Big Funder is 0.4%. So make sure you cover that. When you move your stop loss at least 0.5%. I mean, that's the last time I heard from Coach Bernard about Big Funder fee. If there's an updated percentage, then you make sure you change your calculation. For me, because normally my trade size is pretty standard. Let me see. My trade, if it's, let me see my trade. Okay, for me, my trade size is, yeah, about 4%. Because my trade size is, for example, 10K, right? Every time I see my fee is about $40 plus minus. So that means when I move stop loss, I will make sure cover at least $50 or 80 to be safe, right? Just in case. I think I shared before, sometimes a slippage happen. The time I reserve 200 and slip to negative still. Things happens. Can't control. My setup for ICP? I don't have a setup for ICP yet because I don't know where is it going. If we break below here, okay, roughly lah, the idea is if we break below about here, then I will look for short, be it a breakdown or a retest. Right? If it doesn't break here, so this is scenario number 1. Okay, but if it doesn't break here, then if it rebounds, then maybe I can look for a long with the trend. But yeah, so roughly I don't have a setup now yet because it's not near, it's not conclusive. If it bounce up to a retest, honestly, if it retest, right, for example, what coin was it? GUP. Yeah. Okay. GUP. For me, if it break down, when it retests let's say it's a breakdown from support retest, actually as long as it get rejected, even one time for me is I can take it as a confirmation of support turning into resistance already, right? I simply enter the trade here only because 5 o'clock I'm not awake, right? I missed this, I'm not there yet, right? 8 o'clock 8 o'clock, did I wake up? So supposedly if I wake up at 8 o'clock, I can enter at this candle also. I will consider this as a retest candle. I will enter this, I make it fatter. So I will enter this as well if I'm awake at 8 o'clock. But yeah, so the fact that I enter here only basically tells you one thing, that I wasn't awake at, I did wake up early, but I wasn't looking at chart this morning, right? So, but good thing is it retest again now, so I can still enter. If this one, if all this happen right after this candle, then that means I will miss this trade already. Okay. So sometimes you see my retest not right after the retest. It's because human, like manual trading, there's a limitation now. We cannot be there all the time, right there, right at the moment. Right. Okay. Do I have another example? Yeah, so there's no need, I don't count number of candles. So basically I see but it has to be the candlestick pattern has to be a strong indication. It means it has to be an engulfing candle for me. It cannot be a doji. It cannot be a those slightly weaker ones. I need it to be a very determining candle. So okay, let me just use GUB as an example. So you can see after it break down, we retest, although this is also a red candle, right? And it's a hammer. But to me, hammer is not bearish enough. That's why I wait until I see a bearish engulfing candle, then only I will enter. Same for here, right? If like I see this red candle after this green candle, I won't enter. Only because this red candle obviously longer and make it a very strong bearish engulfing candle, then only I decided to enter. Okay. So for me, I personally, I mean, as we mentioned before, right, different coach have different preference when it comes to trade judgment. For me, I do pay attention to candlestick pattern and chart patterns. So if you're also, like, honestly, during our curriculum or program, we don't really teach that much. But if you're interested, we do have resources for it. Just download the PDF, have a look. Yeah, I just said the 5 a.m. 5 a.m. candle. No lah. I just said my 5 a.m. candle can be if you don't mind. But for me, I don't see it as a proper retest. That's why for me, this particular 7 o'clock bearish engulfing is the successful retest. If you are that kind who don't mind entry at a semi-confirmation candle like hammer, morning star, shooting star, piercing, then by all means, sure. Solana. Okay, yes, Solana broke the, I mean, this Solana similar to every other coin I go through just now. Is it breaking down? Yes. But do I want to take the risk with BTC already very near the support? No. Okay. If BTC after 12, if BTC close below 70K, 78, then all this, I will see the potential of them going down to be more confirmed. But having said that, during weekend, right, there might be small pullback. So for me, all this that broke down just now, WLD, Panda, Solana, Jasmine. Did Jasmine break down? I forgot. But even if they did break down, I would rather wait for BTC to react to the support line first, then before I go in. Okay. I don't even need to look at the chart you asked me. I be telling you I won't enter before 12. I won't enter a new trade before 12. But say even after 12, I don't think I will enter 8. Wow. I mean this whole okay, Solana, WLD, and Panda, if they retest, I will enter a short if BTC continue to go down. But say this chart a bit ugly. Okay, I mean there is a breakdown on say, but this whole price range, do we have a lower price? Do we have any historical low? Okay, never mind. Okay, you can see, right, say has dropped below its listing price on Binance. And right now, not say cannot trade, and not if the whole market going down, not say cannot go down further. But if you look at this chart, a bit hard to find a TP point, right? It can go down here, and then the most low I can spot on the chart is the recent one already. Right, so a bit the chart is a bit hard to gauge, right, compared to the other few. The other few still got, like, you can see where are the rooms for it to go down. But having said that, not say totally cannot. If let's say I take this, okay, from the past I can see roughly this support, this support, this support. Right? So if I would definitely not short after 12 because they have run so much. But if it does go back at any point, and by then BTC don't recover, could short, then these are my potential shorts, potential take profit point. But I would say other charts looks nicer. Why is it engulfing? It's because the candle before this is a green candle. Oh, 7 o'clock. Oh, 7 o'clock is not. But it's like, you know, the previous 2 red candle is not strong enough, right? Only this one, if I compare this one to this one, then I'm comparing this to the green one, right? These two, one is a shooting star, one is a doji. So it's not strong enough, right? I'm not saying this is an engulfing of this doji lah, right? It just basically I see this as a group of candle. This one as a set, right? So to me, this one, the relationship is like so because this to me, the relationship is like that. Right, so if you see as a group, it will be like this. If you are interested, do study a bit of candlestick pattern, right? you know that it will know that if it's a green candle and then in between there's a doji, right? Could be green, could be red, doesn't matter the color, right? It shows basically indecisive. Then following candle, if it's a bearish, basically opposite engulfing candle, then usually we see this as a good indication that the direction has changed. Okay, right? Because not every time immediately right after one candle you see the next candle to be engulfing candle. A bit sorry, my drawing a bit straight, but just imagine this one being a cross pattern, okay? Like that. Like that. My drawing cannot. Okay, but you get the idea, right? Of course, ideally it's like that better lah, right? This combination. But sometimes, especially when you're a smaller time frame, the candlestick pattern can, because every hour, right, it already moved, right? So sometimes it won't be as ideal as what you want to see. Yeah, so for me, okay, if let's say at 5 a.m. or 8 a.m. when I see this, I don't know about the pair or group of candle thing, then I might not simply don't enter the trail. Then I look for others if I'm not familiar with this kind of candlestick pattern. Okay. Earlier today, would I have shorted? Probably not. You mean when it break down from here? 8 o'clock. Probably not. Because the stop loss is very far. Like, yeah. As I said, other chart looks nicer than say lah, right? Say is that kind of chart. I look at it like if I saw it earlier today like that, I probably also won't bother even draw it, because you see for the past few days how it literally cut across 200 EMA every day. Like, not very nice. ARU. ARU. What token is it? AR. USDT. You. Is there a typo in the token you're asking? AR, is it? Okay. AR. Your thought on short after 12 a.m. It broke down the trend line 200 MA with this. Okay, possible, because trend line is a bit hard to draw on this chart, because they actually already show a trend reversal. That time they actually already broke the trend line, the earlier trend line, right? But horizontal wise, you can still spot the support here. So if it break below, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it looks fine as a breakout. So if it close any, don't know where it's closing, but if let's say it close below 200 MA, it looks the same as the other few months. You just need to see whether this trade makes sense for you or not. See where it closes, can still enter or not. Okay, if let's say if we, for example, it close below 200 MA, not too far, like that, then your stop loss above previous high, then maximum profit here, can still get a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Then along the way, make sure take profit. Still okay. So you guys are really confident or not confident in BTC. You don't think BTC can hold it. I think it can go down. It's gonna go down. Last, like earlier this week, a lot of people are still hyping it. Say Bitcoin is gonna go back above 79K. But y'all all see going down, is it? Okay, I also think there's still room for it to go down. It's, yeah, but then again, we don't. But then again, we don't trade based on assumptions. Okay, do wait for confirmation, because see, now even though the current candle is below 200 MA, right? But it's still got 1 hour 12 minutes. You never know. It could end up become like that, right? Become a week, leave a week, but the body close above 200 MA. Then if that happens, we need to wait for another 4 hours to see next candle, right? Then if the next candle go back up, then everything will change already. Okay. But having said that, I think just on the few short we spotted, if we continue to go down, because they just break below 200 MA, so we can still, there's still chance to get a good entry, right? No need to rush. All right. Okay, so do you have any more questions? If not, we maybe leave it on to 10:50. If you all still have last question, just type in the chat box. If not, we will. If after 12 still no confirmation, then go sleep. Of course, it's Friday, right? We can enjoy some free time, go out and have fun. Don't need to trade every day one. But if after 12 it gives you a confirmation, then by all means, if you want to take action, go ahead. Because after this, next, even if it's take a break at next support, it will be around 66, 67K already, around this range. Quite a bit of room for price to run. Here. Right, time is 10:49. So thanks for everyone to join on a nice Friday night. Join me for the AMA session, right? Happy holiday. Hope you enjoy the holiday, right? And if you are coming, I see you at the live in-person session. If not, Hanoi. Thanks. Okay, thanks everyone. Good night.
We've got some amazing people, speakers who have actually brought along, many of them are multi-millionaires, right, who trade with millions of dollars. And the whole idea behind the retreat is very simple. I really want y'all to learn, I want y'all to earn, I want y'all to really understand the mindsets of what it takes to be able to trade bigger sums of money.
The weekend so far in Phuket?
Oh, it's crazy. It's one of the best and amazing Phuket trip.
Cool. And how many trades have you done in a row that made money?
Oh, gee, I already done 10 trades in a row. Already make about $500-600.
$500-600
on the sniper trade.
On the sniper trade. How long does a sniper trade last?
Only 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Is it risky? Yes or no?
No risk.
So what would you tell the people who are on the fence whether or not they should come to the next live retreat? What would you say?
I would say, go for it.
Go for it.
Don't have to think.
Excellent.
Yes.
How has your trading experience been so far?
Oh, it's very good. I did a lot of trades and it's all in profit. Yeah.
All in profit. But how many trades have you done just in the last couple of days?
Maybe 10 trades.
10 trades in a row.
Yes,
Wow. And how much is that monetary wise?
10% of the portfolio at least. Not a lot, maybe about 1,000 plus.
1,000 plus.
Because I put like very small position.
Very small. And what would you say to them who are on the fence whether or not they should come to the next event in Vietnam? What would you say to them?
Y'all should come and try. It's really a lot. You gain a lot of knowledge and then you learn a lot of things from the rest of the experts, rest of the team, and there's coaches around. And anything we are not sure, we can help ask them, and they'll be around to guide us along the way. So it's a retreat that y'all shouldn't miss. Yeah.
What I can take from here is the focus, the mindset. The mindset to really have that focus to not focus on losing, but to win. In every steps in your life, focus to win, not to lose. Don't wait. Join in. It's the best thing that can ever happen in your life. So this might be the one and only chance for you. So join.
The theme of this retreat, very simply, as you all know, is halving, right? We have a very important day happening. This is a very monumental event in crypto, right? It has already led to crazy gains, and I believe that we will see much greater, much bigger astronomical rise across the board, right? So if there is a time to really seriously propel yourselves financially, it is this year. When I was myself, it was my own self. I had no mentor to teach me or whatever. But now you guys are blessed. Why? Because you all have a community, you all have people around you. You have Calvin, you have Resh, you have Louis, you have all these guys to actually teach you and guide you, right? So you all are in a much better situation. You'll be learning about the mindset of multi-millionaire traders, right? The caliber of people that are brought for this retreat. Man, you all are in for a treat. Those are the speakers, and those are the guys we're gonna be learning from over the.
that this event has helped me a lot in understanding bigger scales of things like in investing. Other than crypto, we also explore in many areas of investment, like even in stocks market and everything, in IG, and all these things are quite new to me, but now I get the exposure on all these things, and I love it because the energy here, everybody is like just trying to learn, and at the same time we enjoy ourselves so much because the community here are actually supporting one another, especially the coaches. For Coach Louis, he helped us so much by helping us to understand how the trade for sniper trading is being made. I had a tremendous result, especially for yesterday, because I started trading sniper just 2 weeks ago when Coach Louis gave the trade call. So I started to join him, I started to join all his Zoom and everything. And I find that his strategy is working quite well. And yesterday itself, when I entered into a trade, I actually made quite a good percentage from it, about 49% in the morning. And in the evening when I joined Coach Louis, he actually do the spa sniper session with us. And at that point we really do 3 trade, and that 3 trade actually make quite a good amount of money. They will need a good coaching, like in CRP especially, because here they really teach us a lot of things about crypto. When you go into something that is you don't really know, you will feel very fearful. But when you come to this CRP, right, they actually teach you everything about the strategy, even the mindset and everything. So when up here we are having fear and everything, we won't be able to do anything. But once we overcome it by getting the right coaching, by getting the right kind of support, all of us can do it. Not just some people, but everybody who are having fear and everything. They just need to overcome it. And at the end of the day, this is a skills that it will help for us in the long term. Making a good side incomes and everything. Not just from the main job that we have, because all of us are having our main job that sometimes can be so stressful. But at the end of the day, we want to have more time for our family. We want to have a good income from trading and everything. I find that CRP is the place where you should be in.
Well, I really learned a lot from the first one. Trading is one, but I think the whole mindset change was so important. I think sometimes when you are getting into trades, when the tide goes against you, and you may feel like, oh, am I doing the right thing? But when you come to retreats like this, and then you start to learn the conviction, like why are you doing it, and then why are you trading in a certain way, and why you should hang on to what you're doing, then that became very important during the retreats, because the community, the speakers that comes on stage, they remind you of why you entered that trade, and even if the tide goes against you for a short time, just hang on to it, because it's going to come back up. And I think coming to retreats like this, when even the tides are against you, you kind of refresh your energy on why you're doing it, and you continue to hang on to what you do. During that retreat was 7K, but overall my account is up by about 50,000. I think it's going more in depth into the different coins, that we are trading. What's the trend? That there are the coins that are in trend, and what are the coins that could potentially move faster, and that could now help me to tweak some of my portfolios in terms of some of the coins that I hold. And by tweaking it, again, it's gonna just move me closer to my goal.
Awesome.
At an accelerated rate, right?
Fantastic! It's amazing. It's so good that I learned so much technique, so much tools that every one of you should attend.
We had a fantastic mindset. The moment we can change within a seconds. Okay, we got from friend Richards. We are down within this moment, and we can come up within seconds. That I got one of the fantastic thing from Richards.
A live retreat exposes you to the best of the best people in the industry. When you hang around with eagles, you will soar like an eagle as well. Don't hang around with chickens, hang around with eagles. In this room, there are people worth tens of millions of dollars, right? You want to be in the room to learn from the best of the best, and that's the reason why you got to be at the next retreat.